Good morning, hello there, and welcome to Norton live streams. In case you didn't know, these live streams are part of a series of live streams we've been doing here at Norton. In case you've missed any, have a look at our YouTube channel or the Sangaban website, the Norton website, where you'll find a whole load of live streams we've done before and lots of other information and videos, educational and all sorts of stuff. So check it out. Okay, so before we start today's live streams, I want to introduce you to a little function we have here on the Teams platform we are using today, and that is closed captions. So if you click in the little, follow the instructions on screen here, click the gear icon in the corner, and you can select your local language, which will translate my English into subtitles of your language. Subtitles in your language, should I say. Okay, so... Now, for those of you who have actually participated in our live streams before now, you know we normally do a Q&A question and answers session at the end, and we encourage you to put the Q&As or your questions onto the chat. But due to a difficulty with the Teams platform this morning, that's not going to be possible. So apologies for that, a little hitch today. So we'll try and get it fixed for the next live stream. So no Q&A today, I'm afraid. Okay, so on to today's subject. Today we're going to be talking about high-strength material. So what is it and why do you need it? Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at the agenda for the next half an hour where you'll be with me. So as we said, today's agenda, high-strength material, what is it, why do you need it? First of all, we're going to introduce your experts that are going to be on the stream today. We're going to have a look, what is high-strength material, the range of material we have here at Norton, and then we will not be doing, unfortunately, the live questions and answers. Okay, so and after, we're going to go through a short PowerPoint presentation before we start, and afterwards we're going to show you how these products really work and how they can benefit you in your market. So let's have a look at the PowerPoint there, Martin. So here's your experts. It's me, Paul Gray. I live in Cheshire, right in the centre of England. I'm an application engineer for MRO for the whole of EMEA. I've got 32 years of manufacturing, and 20 years of those have been spent in abrasives, so quite a while in this lovely sector of the business. And I'd like to introduce my esteemed colleague, Robin Cook. Robin, are you on, and would you like to introduce yourself?
I am, Paul. Good morning and welcome, everybody.
Good to hear your voice there, Robin.
Thank you, Paul.
Pleasure. So, Robin, tell me a bit about yourself.
Oh, sorry. I got carried away. I was waiting for your next slide, Paul.
You were too surprised that I was being nice to you. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for the criticism. Hi, everybody. Been a long time in abrasives, and particularly spent a lot of that in non-woven products. And I have to say that this is probably one of the most interesting and versatile products that we have in our range to show you today. So very keen to be here. Thank you, Paul, and to be able to present a little bit on what this product is and how it can benefit a lot of people in a lot of different applications. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Robin. Thanks again for joining us. Yes, as Robin says, we will see today how versatile this high-strength material is, and it is one of my particular favourites as well, because it's really nice to use and you can get some really great results from it. So before we actually get to the practical side of this, which I'm eager to get to, I'm just going to go through a few slides on PowerPoint, which Robin's going to take you through, just to introduce you to, what is the material, where is it used, how big our range is. So over to you, Mr. Cook. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. So in addition to our full range of Beartex non-woven hand pads, which are used probably more for soft cleaning and finishing applications, we do have, as an add-on to that, we have a range called high-strength products, which are more harder wearing and more durable for more special applications. So these high-strength products are made from tougher resin-reinforced nylon fiber, and then we add premium abrasive grains onto them. And each of the high-strength products that we have offers unique benefits and a choice of grains for blending, cleaning, deburring, and finishing on a variety of not only metals, but it also can be used on many other substrates as well, including wood. And the key points to look out for here are the durable construction, combined with the flexibility. So that durable construction provides an aggressive action for the toughest applications. It can withstand heavy edge work while it's deburring something, for example. It won't tear or chunk out like a normal hand pad material. But do note the high degree of flexibility, and you'll see that coming up, and Paul's going to highlight that within the demonstrations. And that degree of flexibility allows it to suit and get into awkward shapes, channels, grooves, and recesses. And the product comes in various grades and levels of stiffness as well. So there's something for everyone in there. So it works really well, as you're going to see, on irregular and unusual surfaces and gets into tight areas without damaging the material. And it can withstand very sharp corners and also edge work as well. And it's a great, not only is it an industrial product, but it's also a great DIY friendly product as well, because on things like wood, it's aggressive enough to strip layers of paint, but also forgiving enough to not damage the wood or the shape or the contours on the wood as well.
That's going to be an interesting one today as well. We don't normally cover DIY applications here for these live streams, but we will be showing a couple of different ones today, as you say, because the product is so versatile. It works across lots of different markets, as you say. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And next slide, please, Martin, just to show the versatility of the product. So it's versatile in terms of its different grades and stiffness levels, but also in terms of the number of forms that it can be manufactured into or converted into, as we say in the abrasive world. So everything from quick change discs to gang discs here, as you can see, also into flat wheels and right angle grinder discs, so it can be put onto power tools and speed up your cleaning and finishing task dramatically. So going from what we were talking about earlier, from hand pads to power tool products. It can be used for as something we call cross buffs, to go into a pipe and do internal finishing and cleaning. But the picture on the left-hand side, if you can see, for working as plain discs, this is a great example of the flexibility of the product. Getting inside a difficult-to-reach component, you couldn't do that with any other abrasive, and you can actually see the wheel bending and flexing into the contour of the recess inside that component.
So that's one of the real beauties of the product, isn't it? The flexibility is able to ride up that radius there, without digging in and making a deep groove anywhere. It just follows the contour of the material and rides up that groove beautifully, so you get a consistent finish all the way down that piece of material. But there's a lot of products here, in this range, as you can see, and there's actually more than we're showing here. These are just the more popular items. So, we only have half an hour here today, so it's going to be quite difficult to go through all of them. But I'm sure we'll give you a good taste of what we have to offer here. Okay. All right, Robin. So, thank you for introducing the range and telling us what high-strength material is. So, one of Robin's first comments was about the difference of high-strength material, which is this material we have in front of us here, versus our hand pad material. Now, it's made, on our same machines, but it has completely different characteristics. As you can see, first of all, it looks a bit different, but looks aren't everything, right? So this is a normal hand pad. All right, this is what we normally produce for this, so it's very soft, very conformable, and it's also easily tearable. Okay, so you can imagine if this kind of material was converted into, flap wheels or discs for an angle grinder or whatever, when we could do it, of course, no problem at all. We could cut a disc out of here and glue it to a backing plate and use it, but it wouldn't last 2 seconds in any application. If you tried to clean up a weld with that, it would disappear. As soon as you touch an edge, gone. It would just shed, as we call it in the industry. But high-strength material, as Robin said, much more durable and tough because of the fibers that are inside here. They're very, very thick compared to hand pads. A lot more resin in there and a lot more grain. So I cannot tear that no matter how hard I try. Okay, so whatever I do, that will stay intact. So that leads you to understanding that this product can be used on a lot of different applications, on a lot of different machines as well, which we can go through go through today. So yeah, what we're going to show you, the four main comments Robin showed you in the presentation. We're going to look at the toughness, we're going to look at the durability, the flexibility, and also the versatility of high strength material. Right, so first product we're going to have a look at is probably one of my favorite products made from high strength material, which is our T27 disc made for the right angle grinder. So here's the disc here. Here we see the high strength material has been glued to a backing plate. And the beauty of this material, it's so strong, it can be rated up to the speed for an angle grinder. So you can see here the speed rating is 12,000 RPM on here. So it can be used on any fixed speed grinder. You know, any lesser material, you'd have to use it on a variable speed machine and slow that down. But this is so strong, it can withstand applications at that maximum speed of an angle grinder. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a few things you can do with this disc. So whilst I get this on the machine, you got anything to add there, Robin?
Yeah, that's a good point, Paul, about the speed in there, because as we were saying earlier on as well, that what you're about to see here with this disc going on an angle grinder, I just want to re-emphasize and focus again for people to think about the fact that this is speeding up something that you would probably do manually.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to put this on a power tool is dramatically faster than working by hand, and obviously less tedious and less of a hardship for the person working on the component.
It's a good point you made there, Robin. So an application such as this, if we can have a look at there from above there, Martin. When I refer to Martin, I'm talking about the producer here today in the studio. So Martin's in charge of the cameras and audio and everything else. So you can see a stainless steel component. You can see we've actually welded this section to this section, made it into a T-piece. And you can see in the middle there, very dirty joint with lots of browning, burning, all sorts of stuff. So it doesn't look very nice. As Robin said, we could, if we just stay here for a second, we could use a hand pad material and move that off. But it does work. You know, you can see I'm starting to clean that in that area there. But it's going to take a long time, quite a bit of effort to do all that material. And you can imagine if that weld was longer, you'd be there all day. Okay, so we need to speed that kind of process up. That's what we're going to show you, how you could do that with high strength material today. I'm just going to get my safety equipment on. I've got the ear defenders in already, overall safety boots. Get on my nice gloves, and we'll be ready to go.
Make sure you're safe, Paul. We don't want you injured.
Thank you very much, Robin. You're a very caring man. Okay, so gloves on. Everything else we need, I just need to put on my face shield. To any flying debris that comes off there is not going to get anywhere near my eyeballs. Okay, so we are ready to go. So again, angle grinder, normally used for grinding discs, cutting discs, very aggressive tool. It can be, but we can also do some really nice soft cleaning applications with this tool and this material. So you saw with the hand pad, really difficult to take off or takes ages. I could also use an acid pickle on here as well, which is not a nice product to use, not good smell, and nobody wants to have acid around in the area, really. It's quite nasty stuff. So high strength material can do that job really quickly and efficiently for you. So let's have a look at that.
So here, well, it's so quick. I didn't even have time to comment on it.
Robin was going to give you some running commentary there, guys. But yeah, it really is that quick. So you can see on here how quickly that's done it. All right, so of course we can go over the rest of this material and give it the same finish as we got from the we have over the weld here, just to kind of blend it in a little bit. But I just really wanted to show you how quick we can go from that to that in a second. All right,
And the valuable thing here, Paul, is it's not changing the geometry or the dimensions of the component. It's not damaging or gouging in, which you would find with other conventional abrasives. Yeah. It's just doing enough of what you need to do is cleaning that surface off.
And we're not killing the disc at all either, you know, so the disc is completely intact after that as well. So, you know, in carbon steel applications, generally we want to treat the weld or take the weld off or you know, certainly grind away a lot of the weld. But on a lot of stainless steel applications, everybody's happy to keep a weld on because it looks nice. It's small, it's tidy, not like big MIG welds. A TIG weld does actually look quite nice. So this is why it's really useful for stainless steel applications. want to show you another application on steel as well, such as a component like this here. So a steel rod, and you can see on the steel rod, if we get the close-up of that, please there, Martin, we've got a bit of rust, bit of corrosion on there. It doesn't look very nice at the moment. What could I use to clean that up? Again, a hand pad. We could spend a long time using a hand pad to do that, and we would get the finish we want, but it would take time. It would take a long time. So instead of doing that, I could use a high strength. You think maybe I could use a flap disc, but imagine if you did on this with a flap disc, what we would do would be too aggressive. We'd lose lots of flat spots on there and actually change the shape of the material, which Robin was alluding to earlier. So if we want to clean light scale like this, we wouldn't use anything else but the high strength material, because we would make a mess of the component. It wouldn't be round anymore, essentially. Let's show you how that works on this steel bar.
So, in addition to what Paul was saying as well there, you can use this in metal fabrication, but it also can be used in maintenance. So people might want to upgrade their stainless steel components, or even something, maybe a little bit of damage to a stainless steel rail, and you can do it very quickly with this product on an angle grinder.
Yeah, so you see here the difference we've got. So this is the area I finished with the high strength. Looks really good, you know, not a blemish on there, no flat spots at all compared to the area here I haven't finished with. You see huge difference. Okay.
Paul, can you show the disc touching the metal and its ability to conform to the rounding of it?
You're not very demanding today, are you, Robin, eh?
Not at all, no. So
there we go. So
there you go, look at that.
Yeah.
So the footprint, the contact area of the disc is going to be bigger on there as well.
Oh yeah, it can do a nice arc of the material, because as you say, it conforms around the material, which is a really nice attribute. I also not pressing at all. I'm just using the weight of the machine to do that. It's really, really light application. So shows you how.
That's just emphasizing that combination of durability and flexibility as well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, so this on a Type 27 disc, very good for metal. It works really well on cleaning welds, cleaning a bit of light scale off things. It's a really, really nice product to use. Conformable, tough. It hasn't broken down at all from the periphery of this. But now I want to show you something a bit different with the high strength material. And this, Robin was talking earlier about the different grades and different grits that are available from our high strength range. This is a new product from us here, which is high strength in coarse. Okay, so here we have the high strength medium. Okay, this one in maroon here. The one in brown here is a high strength coarse product. So that's even thicker fibers, even more resin, and a coarse grain instead of a medium grain. So tougher applications, that's what it's designed for, but it works really, really well on wood, strangely enough. So Robin was talking about earlier about a DIY style applications. This is certainly one of those, but it also can be used in industry on tougher metallic applications too. So where you have sharper edges or more area to do and the finish requirement is not so fine, the tough high strength coarse material can work extremely well there also. But this works really well on wood. I mean, make sure I put the power off on this machine before I start it up, or before I change the disc. Okay.
The high strength material, for everybody's benefit, comes in coarse, medium, and very fine grades. And within those, there's also maybe at least two levels of stiffness, or can we also say durability as well? But there's a kind of heavy stiffness, a regular stiffness, and in some cases we have an extra flexible product as well, where it needs to be converted into a flat wheel.
Yeah.
But Paul's showing you the coarse grade here.
Okay.
So no damage to the wood.
No. Yeah, absolutely no damage to the wood at all. And for those of you who are doing any applications on wood or at home where you've got paint, or even if you've got a work to do with wood that's not been sanded down, you can look at that really quickly. We've got a beautiful smooth finish here on the wood, whereas here it's really rough. I think you can hear the difference in my gloves on here. Nice and smooth there. Really rough on there. So no more sanding. Wow. How about that, guys?
Really,
certainly.
really helpful on things like internal doors. If you've just got a little bit of damage to an internal door and you just want to touch that up, you can use that product on an angle grinder as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, Robin, when you've got contoured wood, such as this piece here, I mean, very easy to sand off the areas if you want to do these flat spots around here. But when you get into these contours on a component such as this, I mean, that takes some doing with your sandpaper machine you're using. But with a high strength wheel, you can get in there really easy and get that paint out of there or whatever you want to remove from the surface of this. It's really, really good. And again, not damaging the wood if you're careful with that, of course. But you can take off all the horrible paint layers you've had on there previously really, really quickly. And these kind of jobs are tedious, I know, because I do a lot of DIY myself at home. So really nice for doing contoured parts like that as well. And that same logic. Oh, sorry, Robin.
Just to finish off on the wood, Paul,
Yeah.
absolutely perfect for people who have wooden fences in the garden and they want to touch up or repaint the wooden fence. Many people with those all around Europe. So that product can speed up your hand pad application of just sanding down the wood and tidying it up before you repaint it.
Yeah.
So that product on an angle grinder, really, really beneficial, speeding up the task.
Yeah. So we said about getting into contours on materials such as wood. Now we're going to show you how this works on a metal fabrication here. So this is a piece of stainless steel. And you see at the bottom here, we've got where this a weld where this post has been welded to the foot plate. And again, you can see a big weld on there. That's quite dirty. Okay, it's like a lot of burn on there, etc. So if I try to get in there with a high strength disc, it's going to be difficult. All right, I can do it, but I'm just using the edge of this disc. After a little while, that will wear away, and I'll be back to the backing plate. So then I won't be able to do that anymore because that backing plate here is going to be touching the material, which I don't want because it's going to mark the backing plate. Okay, so this is a fiberglass reinforced backing plate, and it will actually create some damage on the stainless steel. So I can use it briefly, but after that's worn away, the material at the edge, I will start to risk damaging the material. So what do we do about that? The easiest answer is we employ a wheel to do that instead. So instead of using a disc on a grinder, we use a wheel such as this that I showed you earlier when I was trying to tear it on a straight shaft machine. So that's the easiest way to get through that. I have a couple of different options available for that. We have one that's already got a spindle mounted into the wheel, which is nice to use, or we can have this product here. So we have a wheel with a hole in it, really simple, and we have a mandrel, and we can push through that wheel, and then we can mount it onto this straight shaft machine you see here. So let me show you that under the camera there, please, Martin. So we have our straight shaft machine with the mandrel here. We have wound the threaded nut through there, and we can then wind that onto the spindle. Easier without your gloves on, I think, to be honest with you. Let me try that again. I'm going to have to take my gloves on. They're tricky. These gloves are great for using with an angle grinder, but when you're trying to do tricky little tasks like this, it's quite difficult. They're not too dexterous with these. So we spin that on there easily. And then what we can do is we can tighten that up using a flathead screwdriver. So this is more of an industrial application and an industrial tool I'm using here. You can see this is what we call a pneumatic tool. So this is powered by compressed air. Now, for those of you that don't have that available to you, because not everybody does, you can do this exact same thing with a household drill. Okay, so really, really simple. So again, I could show you that with our wheel that's already got a spindle in there. I can just put that in the drill, tighten that up, I'm ready to go. The same thing.
Which goes back with that versatility thing that we were talking about as well, Paul, before.
Yeah, exactly. You can use it on so many different ways. Okay, so I have the disc, the wheel mounted onto the straight shaft machine, the pneumatic one. So now I need to plug it into the air supply, which is just over here. And we can show you how this works. Okay, so we're ready to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to process at an angle around here. So I'm going to try to get into this material all around that weld here, and you see it does it really quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, so here we've got the huge benefit of access, the versatility of the product shown in going into areas where other products can't go, and doing it very, very quickly as well. And the finishing level of the high-strength material is impressive too. It's as we said, we've got different grades on there, but the medium product is very popular and for giving a range of finishes that are perfect for most of these typical metal fabrication everyday tasks. But also you can see solving a lot of problems for people who are maybe having difficulty to access where they've got a conventional range of products or abrasive products. The high strength is solving that problem for them. Yeah, and you're going to get a better idea of the finish level from this disc. And three-dimensional benefit too. So Paul using it on the edge, on the outside face, and also on the inside face as well.
Well, that's the beauty of this, Robin. As you say, I can do the foot plate, I can do the weld, I can also finish the straight shaft there as well, or the column here. Really, really nice. I mean, if I wanted to, I can finish the welds on these lugs, grind them away, clean all this off. So again, so versatile product. It's unbelievable, and the finish you get, that's good enough to go into the market. You know, that's bright enough and clean enough to be straight bolted out, and you have your nice balustrade out on your supermarket staircase, whatever it be. So really, really cool product to use there. I also want to show in a more industrial application where high-strength material does also come into its own is components like this turbine blade we have in front of us here. So what I want to do is I want to get into the root area of this turbine blade to just clean up, remove any burrs. And again, high-strength material works perfectly because it's flexible, and I'm not going to damage this area. I'm just going to be able to blend it beautifully. So let's have a look at how that works.
Yeah, Paul just stressing again the range of applications for these products, and we sell hundreds of thousands of wheels and discs into the market today, but it's across so many different areas, market channels. So aerospace, automotive aftermarket, all the way through to builders, merchants, and DIY stores. So this product is encompassing a wide variety of applications, metals, components, shapes, and applications.
So you see there, quite a technical application. We've removed any of the dirt, any of the debris, any of the burrs in there really, really quickly, and it's given us a very nice finish as well. So kind of two in one action there. So another version of high strength material are these products here, which are called quick change discs. And the reason we call these quick change discs is because we can change them quickly on the tool. Okay, so you have another compressed air tool like this little mini grinder. We're able to spin these discs on to the backing pad, and we're able to grind away. Same as we did earlier on with the angle grinder. I can do all these areas with no issues. Of course, a little bit slower because it's a smaller disc, but they're really versatile because once this disc is worn out, I can replace it very, very quickly with a new product. But what I particularly like about these discs on this tool is if we get a smaller backup pad. So you notice on here, I've got a 75mm backup pad, same size as the disc I'm going to use on there. So I'm giving the disc full support, but when I'm using it like this, but that means, again, I've only got a limited amount of edge I could use before that's worn out. If I'm using it flat, no problem. If I'm using it on the edge, it's going to disappear quite quickly. So what we can do to make more use of the disc is actually have a tool with a smaller backup pad. That's really, really that simple. So when we screw this disc onto the machine, you can see now I've got loads more of the disc I can use than when I have a machine with a big backup pad like this. So I can use this disc here, on the top, on the periphery, on the other edge, right down to the middle, right down to the button that attaches these discs on. So really, really nice thing to use for that. And again, components such as this here where I'm trying to get into a corner here to clean that weld up, this is where these work extremely, extremely well. If I try to do that with an angle grinder, I can get most of it, but the tool's kind of blocking me getting around there, okay? But the mini grinder and this material, I'm able to get in here and go all the way around there with no issues. Then turn around and I can go up this bend here. It's again so useful machine. Let's get the air supply from the straight shaft machine and put it into the mini grinder. We'll show you how that works.
Once again, from this part of the demonstration, you'll see the ability of the product to shape and flex into the different contours of the component. So really matching the different degrees of corner, weld, and also straight lengths of material there as well. So it's working on everything.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I'm able to do the corner here and take out the burr and the marks on here. I can then finish this straight part of the component and even ride up this contour. And I can't see anywhere where that material has dug in on here. There's no issue with that at all. So it's just given us a really good finish, taking off everything here we need to get rid of very, very, very quickly as well. So, like we say, versatility is incredible from this product. Right, one last product to show you, which are what we call our wheels. We showed on the presentation earlier on that it can be formed into flap wheels. Well, we have one of those here. We can use flap wheels or ganged wheels on a pedestal grinder, and they work really well doing that. But we can also use them on an angle grinder as well, which is really, really handy for linear finishing. Okay, so that's when we want to get a nice linear finish on the product. And these wheels come with a lovely M14 thread on the back there, which means I can spin them straight on the thread of an angle grinder. Okay, now you must make sure that when you use an angle grinder that you make sure it's a variable speed, because the maximum speed of these wheels is 4,500 RPM. So you must make sure you have a variator on your angle grinder, and you could turn the speed of these down. Okay, so I'm going to run this at speed 2 on this grinder, which is again about 3,500 RPM, so way under the maximum operating speed of this tool. So you can buy specific machines for these wheels, but with the versatility of the M14 thread, you don't have to anymore, as long as it's a variable speed. Here we have a piece of stainless steel. I'm going to show you how you can get a lovely linear finish on that super quick.
Yeah, again, emphasizing the versatility and the ability to go into different shapes and achieve different types of finishing. So on a linear finishing task such as this, maybe not everybody's going to be doing it for every day, but it's just one simple task that they have to do in metal fabrication work. And Paul's showing we can do it very quickly on an angle grinder power tool that everybody has, and can get access to various types of costs. So either very cheaply, you can buy an angle grinder very quickly now, or very cheaply now out of various stores, or whether it's an industrial version as well. So achieving that task brilliantly.
So you can see that's where we started. Material that looks a bit dirty, covered in fingerprints and little indentations and scratches. And very quickly we can get to that. I'll try and make it pop on the camera there with the lights. We can get to that finish, which is completely linear and looks very, very uniform. So yeah, it's impressive stuff on angle grinder, which is a really versatile tool in itself, to be honest. Of course, many more products within the high strength range we could show you today, but we are limited to half an hour. If we had a little bit more time, I could show you, small spindle mounted flap wheels, again for straight shaft machines. This again for linear finishing in internal areas. We could have looked at wheels like this on a pedestal grinder, which would have been very nice. And one of the beauties of these wheels, which I really like, is they can be ganged together. Okay, so what we can do is we can put them together like this. And this is what we call a gang wheel. So very often on a pedestal grinder, we see these wheels grouped together in a big section we call ganged. That's really nice when we've got components like this that's round. So what we can do on there, we offer the component up to the wheel and we push that component into the periphery of these gang wheels and get a lovely finish all around this component. Nice linear scratch all around that component. So really nice for shaped components or components with contours that you could take to a pedestal grinder. Okay, I'm a little bit aware of time. I think we've run over a little bit today, Robin. I do apologise for that. But
such a versatile product, it's no wonder it's one of our favourites, and we can go on for ages about it, Paul.
It's too much for half an hour, if I'm honest with you. I agree with you. There's a lot of information to go through, so maybe we should have had a little bit more time today. But yeah, it's really quick. So yeah, high strength materials. It's super tough. Really durable due to that extra thick resin fibers and the amount of nylon fibers and the amount of resin in there and the different types of grain we can use makes it very versatile, and the flexibility lends it to lots and lots of different difficult applications. Robin, anything to add for a summary on high strength material?
No, I think you've covered it, Paul, and some of the demonstrations in there really helped to show that. And again, I stress that picture on the bottom left in there, which really encompasses for me all the benefits of combining durability along with flexibility. If anyone does have any questions for us, don't hesitate to contact your local Norton sales representative or contact us via the Norton website as well, and we can answer anything further about the benefits of the high strength material that you've seen today. Great job, Paul. Well done.
Thanks, Robin, and thank you for joining and being as professional as ever. So much appreciated for that, my friend. Okay, so like I said, normally we have our Q&A session, but today it's not working, unfortunately. So everybody who's joined us live today, thank you very much for joining us. Those on YouTube, don't forget to have a look at our other content on our YouTube channel and our Norton website. We'll see you next time on Norton live streams. Thank you to Martin. Cheers, Robin. See you next time. Bye-bye.